All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are live. Welcome to the Unconventional Mindset. Happy Tuesday. My name's Odum. And as I said, yes, this is the Unconventional Mindset, where we are getting together every single day and we are figuring out what it takes to build ourselves a company that is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single, every single day, every single year, not every day. That would be crazy. That's in the future. So that's what we're working towards. And of course, we are building Pixel Pieces, which is our new Webflow component and library, or component and template library. And what we've been doing over the past couple weeks, I would say, would be finalizing our style guide, as well as finalizing the initial components that we're going to have. And what we're doing right now, what we need to do, I kind of started just by thinking about this yesterday, is we need to basically implement client first principles and our new style guide into Pixel Pieces, which is the main application which we built that is going to be the home for where people will create an account, log in, and be able to get our components and templates. So when we was looking into doing this yesterday, there's an issue. Like, we copied the style guide over and then we're like, okay, well, how are we going to import everything over? And basically what I've decided was that we're going to have to go through this thing page by page manually and update pretty much like every class into client first, into our style guide. And one of the big problems that we have is, yes, I cut and paste the style guide. I'll just show this here. Where did I put it? Here's the style guide. But the problem that I have now is that if there's anything that I want to do, with the structures or whatever, and rename them, I can't go into, like, even just page wrapper. I can't go into the home page. I can't even go into here and just rename this page wrapper or whatever it is in client first, because that style already exists because I cut and paste it. So we're just going to have to go through this by hand and just go through page by page. And thankfully, we don't have too many pages just yet. And we're just going to have to plug away and do this. So if you want to come with me and join me for this ride, then you're more than welcome to join me. Because I imagine this will be pretty tedious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the style guide here in another window. And so this is it here. I will just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. I know this navigator and this whole interface in Webflow is a little bit on the small side. And yeah, and what we're going to do is we're going to go on in the style guide here. Well, we're actually going to delete it. And we need to delete it because we need to get rid of all those classes that are here. And we're going to have to clean up. It's going to clean up a whole bunch of these styles and remove them all. And probably a bunch of interactions as well. We're going to clean those up and we'll delete them. And for those interactions and styles, if we need to bring any of them back, we'll just cut and paste the individual pieces if they haven't been created here within this platform. Okay, so the first thing we want, I'm actually going to put this on my second monitor here, which will be a little bit easier for me to have two things open and to see. Because I don't think we could, this might be a little bit too much, especially, if I zoom out, it'll be a little bit easier for me, but you guys aren't going to be able to see too much. No, I think it'll be better if I do this. I'll do it this way. And zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So client first, right? So this is going to have to get renamed to page wrapper, which actually doesn't even have any styling associated with it, which is fine. One thing that I want to look into is the actual page structure. So we've got page wrapper and main wrapper. So we're going to do that as well. Okay, now I got to get used to my shortcut keys. This is actually a little bit, I have to make sure I'm not covering everything else because now I can't see anything that's coming up in YouTube. Maybe I can, maybe I can bring it here. Hopefully that'll be okay. Maybe I can move this a little bit. Okay. So Windows key E. No, that's not it. What is it? Control E. Jeez. So what are we going to create here? Is it page wrapper? No, it's main wrapper, I think. Main wrapper. And of course, that is going to be, let's go to settings. And this is going to be main. I do believe. And then we start going into actual sections. So this section here we have is basically our header section. And anything, what did I put here? I did section and I put padding top 2. Okay, so we're going to throw this in our main wrapper. And we're actually going to rename this section. Is it underscore or dash? I think it's underscore. Yeah, underscore identifier. So this is our header. Oops, didn't stick. Control enter, section underscore header. Okay, and then I have this container here full width. So, and this has some padding associated with the container. So I think what we want to do here is that's going to be our padding, but it's going to be our global, whatever that padding global is going to be. So let's go here, padding global. And I think what we want to do, we haven't set any variables. Oh, we have set variables, but we're going to go set a new variable of size. And this is going to be global and then padding. And we're going to set this to, sorry, you guys can't see this. It's all the way up below. Global, I think it was 2.5, right? I think that's what we had. So that's what we'll set that to. And we'll go back here. Whoops, where am I? Go back here. We'll go into our padding global. And we're going to set that to our new global padding of 2.5 REMs. And okay, perfect. And we also want to have some padding top and bottom. And I think that, I guess we can do a container and then padding. Is that the way that we want to go? Yeah, so if we go in here again, let's go Control Alt G, wrap that in a div block, Control Enter. We're going to call this container dash, I guess, large. And this is the thing too, we didn't like those actual sizing, but so with our container dash large, let's bring up, actually, we can actually bring up our style guide, pixel style guide. Yeah, we can bring it up here. Maybe we can look at our structure. And here we go. We have container large, max width, 70 REM. But what do I actually have for container? I have 86.25. Okay, so let's set How should we do this? I just want to take a quick look here at how we did that for our containers. Let's have a look. Content and structure. Let's go down to structure. So container large, where's the actual class? Okay, container large, auto, and it just has a max width set and width at 100. Okay, so we're gonna have to recreate that. Let's just take a look at our variables real quick. And I do have stuff for containers. Okay. So I wonder if this makes sense to put this in a variable. Yeah, well, let's throw it into a variable. A new variable. It's going to be size. We're going to go container dash, and then we're going to put it large. Hit enter, and then we're going to give it a value of what did I say? 82.5 relative units. I can't remember now. Let's see here. 86.25. How did I get that number? I think that's probably, let's calculate. 86.25 times 16, 1380 pixels wide. Okay. So we want this max width to be container large, and width is 100%. And of course, margin is in the middle. Okay. Good, good. And we also probably want to throw in a padding for this section, which is the top and bottom padding, right? So let's do one last thing. We're going to do padding section. I guess this is where we do small, medium, large as well. Yeah, small, medium, large. Yeah. And what was it before? Now I don't remember what it was before. So let's go look at pixel pieces here. And actually let's log out so we can see our everything here. Padding top. So I had it at 2 pixels. So padding section small, and I think we're going to want to have how do we want to do this? I think we want to do do you want to do padding? Or did I even I did the padding. Minimum width, minimum height. Why did I add a minimum width and minimum height? Oh, that's probably just to make sure that we actually have something in the actual box here. Padding. Oh, here. Oh, okay. I'm in the wrong thing. Padding section small. So I did put this in global padding. So it looks like I didn't actually define anything as padding section small, medium, large. And what I mean by that, I didn't define any global variables. So we have container, we have global. Sorry, you guys can't see this. It's just kind of on the edge here. So we have container. We're going to want to create another one. Let's just go for sizing here, and it's global slash basically text. And that's going to just set to 16 pixels. And I guess we can do, I mean, does this make sense? Like I'm thinking if we have something for padding small, and then we set that to what we want it to be, 2 REMs. So that's our variable. Therefore, when we create padding section small, we can change it. Where's padding small, right? So I don't know if it saves any time putting something like that in a custom variable as opposed to just putting it here and just changing it whenever you have to get to the section. I guess, well, I mean, I guess I can kind of see it both ways. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Okay, so all right. So that is basically everything for this section header. Let's just take a look at our header here, see if there's anything that we can do with how we labeled everything here. Okay, so right, so can we rename this just as header with an underscore or an underscore, a small letter. That works. So we have our navigation, which is very, very simple. We don't have any drop downs or anything. Let's rename this. Should it be header navigation or just navigation? So we can keep everything consistent, right? Because it's within the header. That's where I'm still not 100% sure how to organize these. So, I mean, we have nav link here. We can be header navigation link like this. And then here would be header underscore navigation link text. And then if we go here, if we look at our folders, here we go, which is not coming up. I think the shortcut key, if we just press F, is supposed to bring it up, and it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, folders. This is just not working at all. I'm clicking, nothing's happening. Let's give it a refresh. Okay. Folders, right. So now we have our header, navigation link text. So I like that. What's this modal? Section header. Interesting. We have different sections and then we have header. Okay. That's cool. Let's go in here again. We actually do have a logo. So let's put it in actually. And where is it? I think it will be in here. It's actually this thing. So let's copy this. Sure, close. And let's go here and save and close. All right. Should we just call this pixel pieces? Or should we call it maybe more broadly, logo, like SVG. Maybe we'll call it icon. It's not really an icon. Just logo image. Logo image. Or logo. Oh, I keep saying loco. Thinking of trains. Just logo. Okay, logo placeholder. Nothing associated with that. Delete that. So we have our logo SVG, our width. Not sure how big we want it. Doesn't need to be too big. Height is going to be auto. And color. Our black is not entirely black. That's interesting. Okay, actually. So sometimes it looks like the stuff on the E's and the C's are getting cut off. See that on the E? Why is that? On the E and the C and the S. It looks like it's missing a half pixel. Maybe it's just me going crazy. No, I could see that. It's definitely missing. It's definitely missing. Let's just have a quick look here at our Illustrator file. I mean, everything looks nice and smooth here on the E and the C and the S, on all of them. So I'm not sure why it's being like that. Like, you guys can see that, right? I'm not crazy. Right there on the E, the C, the E, and the S. It's like it's missing 1 pixel. Like, it's just cut right off. Like, it depends. Yeah, you could see it really clearly here. It must have to do with this actual code. I don't know if there's something that is just not right with it. Well, maybe there should be a height and a width associated with this. Hang on a second. Let me see the asset. Okay, no, that's not it. Okay, I don't know where it is. Let's grab this. Okay, yeah, both of these. And let's export. Export selection. Yeah, pixel piece is black. Oh, so and P resources logo. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, here's the code for it. Cancel. Everything looks the same. I removed, well, it still has these classes in there. I mean, I don't think that's going to affect anything unless there's something messing with it. This is just a little thing, but that's going to bother me to no end as to why it's doing that. And it looks like it's only, like, it's not doing it at this size, but it's doing it at these larger sizes. It's just at the smaller sizes. This one, no. And then this one, no. But once it goes down to 8, it does. Maybe I just have to render it at a certain size. 8 times 128 pixels. So, I mean, I can set the width to what, about 128. Is that even? Oh, here we go. What if I set it to, I want to link it. So 128. So let's file, let's export. Just 128, SVG, export. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Don't need it. Don't need this. Don't need any of this. Don't need any of these. There we go. Copy. And let's go in here and paste. But we also need to put fill equals current color. Yeah, and if we go 100, what was it, 128 pixels? Interesting. 128 pixels. Whoops. 128. That's 125, 26, 27, 28. So 130. See that hop? Look at that. You can see that clearly. There's something happens at 130 pixels. I don't know if that can show in here, but you can really see it. So I'm going to set that. What's 130 divided by 16? 8.125 EM. 8.125 REM, I should say. Okay, well, let's keep that, and then we'll see what happens. Let's just move on, because otherwise we'll be here all day worrying about the logo, but I think it looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, so, and now we have the portal. So we're going to rename this, just portal, pretty simple. And this is also a header navigation link. Okay, we're going to rename this to just regular button. I don't know if we're going to need these, but we might take a look at updating these. Well, we already made our buttons, so I think we're good with that. I think here in this user portal, I think we should, let's edit this instance. Let's rename this to portal. The user. Right, so here I have flex horizontal align, a class just for identifying flex. And within here, the style guide, we don't have any structure for just flex. We have utility. There isn't anything there for flex, and I think there's a button group. Where is it? There's something to group buttons in. Is it in structures? Yeah. There's this button group class, which does flex things. But I think we'll create our own. So what kind of flex is this? What are we actually flexing here? The avatar and then the username. Well, this is just text. And this one has a margin. Oh, I know what we could do. Okay, so, I think we should just rename this flex underscore horizontal. And in order to get spacing in between, it looks like instead of putting spacing on the flex, I put it on the avatar. I wonder if we should put it, I think we should put it in the flex itself. And I think what we can use for that is probably, should we use a variable? I'm just trying to think of what would make the most sense in terms of how often or how much I want to have the ability to change a variable within the variables panel and have that percolate throughout the whole project and not knowing kind of where I actually deployed that. I don't think that makes the most sense. So I like the flex horizontal here, but what can we do? Should we add like a combo class for like the spacing? Yeah, I want to do it on the spacing, on just the column gap here. Can we do... Okay, if we create a class like this, no, see, because then I'm thinking, you know, you do this, right? And then that's the gap. That's a really bad class. Oh, boy. Maybe having a flex class structure doesn't make any sense in terms of having something that it can be reused, right? So we could do portal. Maybe we'll just do portal user details, right? And then we display this one as flex. Then we line it center. We give it our gap. And then on our avatar, we go portal underscore avatar. And we remove that margin. And yeah, I think we have everything for what we want for the image. That looks good. And then we're going to take this here and put this in another flex item, portal underscore name. Username, I should say. And actually, I'm going to rename this as portal user avatar. Rename portal underscore username text. And we don't need to do this spacing because once again, we are going to flex, align it, and 0.25 rem. Okay. Oops. Hang on a second. Text decoration is underline. Let's log in here. I hope this is correct. It is. So why do I have it here that this is underlined? I think I need to, what's it inheriting from the links? I think I need to make it to none. I feel like something's changed within this. Something's changed. I think it just probably has to do with how I updated everything. So that's fine. So we're just going to take this. We're going to put it back to the color that it needs to be, which I think it's this. And its weight is also 600. Okay. So that was the portal. Well, that was just the user portal. And now we also have a header navigation link. That's going to be the same thing. And then a button. And our portal here is also horizontal. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay. I think that's good for our header. All right. So now we need the next section. In fact, this whole thing, I'm just thinking about what should actually be wrapped in the header, or what should be the header. Should this thing be the header? Or is it good just here? In terms of the symbol, right? Should it go all up to here? Here. Because if we update any of the paddings or whatever on the header, do we want it? We don't want to do it on every single page. Let's think about that. If you have any comments on that, let me know what you think. We're going to keep going. Okay, section padding top 6, and it also has this margin. This has a padding here and then a margin here. Padding top. I think I meant margin top. No, it has both. Interesting. Huh, this one's strange. Okay. So, section hero. And we are going to give it obviously padding global. Oop. And Control Alt G. So this one, we actually want this to be a much smaller container. Container small. And if we go into here, let's create a new style. Container / medium. I'm not sure what this is going to be. Let's just throw something in for now. Create a new variable. Sorry, you guys can't see this. Container - small. And I don't know, we'll just do 40 for now. Okay. So we go back here. Let's look at the whole hero section. I put it at 42. So if we go to container small, we just make this a width. What did I have? Container small, 40 REMs. And of course, we've got to center all of our containers. Actually, I think we don't want we want the max width set to that. Right, max width is small. And then this one, let's break that, is 100%. And then we have our hero, and this is where we're going to have, this is align center, okay, so I think with our section hero, what we can do with that one is we can align that center, perfect. And then this hero doesn't have anything associated with it, so we're going to delete all those styles, and then we're just going to, 7 on other pages. That should still be okay. We're going to rename this to padding section, I guess large. Padding section small. Padding section large. So let's go into our variables again, because we do have something for padding. We can't even reorganize these, can we? That's annoying. Padding medium. And let's do 4 REM, and then new variable. Padding large. Sorry, I try to avoid doing this because I know you guys can't see this, but there's not much I can do. Well, I guess I could move my whole, where my actual face is on the screen. Okay. So this is padding section large. We also want padding large. And we're going to do it on the top and the bottom. Okay. And then I guess then the idea is, what do we do with the content? And then we just have like whatever we need, right? So I think what we can do is let's just wrap this around a text of hero. Because that's what it is. So we have our hero, all H1 heading tags. All right. So we have these set to specific sizes already, and weights and heights. Oh my. I think we'll leave these as is for now. All right. So let's rename this as hero underscore subtitle. Because I don't know if we want to do hero H1. We probably don't need to if all H1s are going to be the same. I don't know. And then button. But this hero, right, hero subtitle, it has margin at the bottom, which I think is fine. This one has one as well, which I don't mind. And then this whole thing has a padding. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. Let's just have a quick look at our folders, make sure everything looks like it's looking good. Flex, we don't have any more. Header, that looking good. Whoops, what just happened? Hero. Why is that being weird? I click on them. They're all just weird. Logo, subtitle, logo, SVG, or hero, I should say. Portal, user, user avatar, user details, username text. Cool, I like it. I wish you can get a secondary, like a sub, you know what the word, like a more indented, like so you go 2 levels deep. I don't think you can with the folders. And then section, with all the different sections so far. Okay, so that's looking good. Looking good. We're coming along. Taking a little bit of time, but that's okay. Just too bad we started building this thing before we did our style guide. Live and learn. Okay, so that's updated. Heroes updated. Hello. The Vulcan salute. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. How you doing today? Hope everything's treating you. Hope the day's treating you well. Okay. Now this section Okay, let's rename this section, and we are going to call this section, like, what is this? This is the social proof for section logos or section clients. Section underscore. I guess we'll call it clients. I mean, they're not necessarily clients or companies. Like users? No, because that's, it could be confused with users, like actual users of the application. We'll just call it clients for now. And I actually don't even know if this is going to be a thing that I'm going to want to have at the start when we launch, because we're not going to have anybody using it. I mean, I guess the idea here is that with these companies here, that I built them websites, that I use client first on those projects. I mean, that's kind of, or I use client first. I used Pixel Pieces. Well, I mean, Pixel Pieces, whether it's using some of the components or whatever the case may be, that I'll be using in these actual companies. So, yeah. Okay. So anyways, let's have a look at this and let's see what it looks like. Again, let's log out of here. I'm trying to look at the spacing here. Make sure it's consistent. Right. This is a little bit, this needs a little bit more. We're going to put, I know what we're going to do. Okay, first off, of course, it's padding global. And we do have a limit here on the size. So we're going to go create a new div in here. Actually, everything goes in. This is going to be global, or sorry, container. I guess medium. Because we don't, well, we definitely don't want it large, because that's going to be as wide as the whole like header area, like this area. Actually, does this one even have? I don't think this one even has. Oh, it doesn't. Right. So what did we do? Hang on. Let's take a closer look here at, no, not here. That's not where we want to take a closer look at. Oh no, it's still in here. Let's look at, I mean, maybe this section here, our container. Right, our main container is 86. So that's going to be for everything. Okay. So this is not container medium. This is going to be container large, which has the max width of 82 point whatever REMs. Okay, perfect. So that's what we want. But we also need to go in here, create a new div, control enter to bring up the style selector, and rename this padding section. And this one's going to be small. And that should make it look even between the top and bottom. Might be a little bit less. Might be a little bit less, but that's okay. I still think that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So we're going to go into, this is called clients, right? So we're going to, this is centered. Okay. We're going to rename this, or just delete this, not rename it, because it'll affect all these other pages. Actually, no, center. Yeah, we need to keep that. So we're going to rename this clients. Oh, we can't because there's already a clients here. Well, we'll rename this clients list. Yeah. Now we can rename this to clients. And we basically wanted to center everything, which we can do that there. So heading. So we're not going to do a heading. We're going to change this to an H2. I'm going to put it here. And I think this is going to be a different H2. This is going to be completely different. So we're actually going to label this heading. But then what we're going to do is we're going to rename this to, shit, it's on other pages. What other pages is it on? I think there's a way to find out, isn't there? So if we do styling and we just do heading, I want to see where it's being deployed. 3 on this page, 3 on other pages. Let's go to components, templates. Where exactly is it? Oh man. And on the about page. Shit. Okay. Are we going to do this? Let's take a look at this thing. Oh, that's a very specific font size. Let's do clients heading. And I think it was 1.25. And I think heading. And it was 600. Right, for the weight. Okay. And then we can do, rename this to clients logo container. And then we do rename this one to clients just logo. Logo image or just logo. That's just logo. Works fine. Yeah, and that is our clients section. That's good. Slowly but surely. Oh, well, we've been at this for an hour. That's not too bad. I think it's going to take us, I don't know, it's going to take maybe, I'm trying to, 5 to 7 hours, I think, to finish all this. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of how I did this, where this has this little accent background thing that kind of fades out. I feel like I should just change the whole color of the section. Like make it white. As opposed to this little thing. Which I don't like. Because what did I do? I had to write some stupid code for it as well, which is like, I don't think I want to be bothered with having to do that. So if that's the case, I mean, this whole thing, can we just hide this? And let's just hide that for now. Actually, we don't even need to do this. Let's just take this and do this. And let's worry about this section here. Oh, hang on a second. I put this in the wrong spot. This needs to go inside here. Okay, new section. Section underscore. What is this one? Let's just call it wheel. No, let's say control. Section control, because this one's all about taking control. And let's just maximize this so we can see things again. So section control, we need to put it in a wrapper of padding on both sides. But I also think in here, we want to have the background color to be white. Like actual white. Padding global. Then again, this is going to be container large. And Control Alt G. We need to have a padding section. This one's going to be large. Do we want it large or? This is where it becomes a little bit tricky in terms of using these padding sections. If I want different size paddings on the top and bottom. So this part here, I want to make sure the padding here is the same, and then this one here needs to be smaller. So I think what we can do, the top and bottom, yeah, it needs to be more than this. So let's go here. Padding section small at the top. I think what we'll do is so comments coming through, and my chat didn't come through the chat here. Sorry, I can't bring it up on the screen here. But did you explain your preference about using dashes or underscores for naming the elements before? Do I have any patterns for them? So yes, there's definitely a lot of rhyme and reason to them, and that's basically following the client first principles that are outlined here by FinSuite. Because basically what we did is we created a brand new style guide, and this is our style guide here, based on these principles of their style guide. And how their style guide works is, they have their different naming conventions. Basically, the underscore, when you have an underscore, it creates these things that they call folders. Because when you're in here and you go to folders, you can see that all your sections are kind of outlined here. So this is section underscore clients, section underscore control, and header. And then you can easily kind of find your way as you navigate through your classes within Webflow. So it helps with organizing your classes. And in terms of deciding when I use an underscore versus a dash, you can only really have one underscore in terms of creating folders. Like you can't have multiple folder structures, which I wish you could. You can go more levels deep, but you can't. So basically everything else, like when I make a section here, and this section is, this is going to be control. So if there's anything that is going to be specific to this, like this image here, it's going to be control underscore image. So then everything that is underneath this control section, I'll be able to find the CSS and the classing structure quickly. So that's kind of the underlying principles as to what I have for the naming conventions. And in terms of what to name them, it's really, that I guess is more arbitrary in the sense that this section here, I'm just calling control because it's kind of take control of your time. So that's just kind of how the section is. But if it was something like this, this might be, when we get to it, I might call this, what would I call this? I don't know, what would I call this? This gives you like points. So like reasons as to why to join. So it gives you kind of like something like points or reasons or bullet points. I can't think of the word right now. It'll come to me, but something maybe a little bit easier. Like this would be like a pricing. So this would kind of be like the pricing container. Right. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question a little bit. Let me know if you need more clarification, but yeah. So you changed course of flow, but thanks for the answers. What do you mean? Like are you talking about Webflow, or are you just talking about change the course in terms of what I was doing? Anyways, ask questions all you want. Always happy to answer questions. Although I don't know why. Let me start and restart my comment section here. Because every once in a while I have issues. So let's start it again. Let's connect. Let's see if I get the messages to load up. There we go. I got the messages again. Just needed a refresh. Yeah. So what I'll say, I guess the question I have is, how familiar are you with Webflow? But I would definitely recommend looking at client first if you haven't. I'll put this in the chat. Take a look at client first. And then I also have this here, my style guide, which is based off of client first, which is right here. Actually, there's a place now. I just yesterday I posted this on Webflow. You can actually download it. Where? I think it's Webflow. I think it's here. Right. So if you go here, you can actually clone my style guide. So if you want to have a look at that, and you can kind of play around with it, and I'll see if I could actually pin this comment. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, there we go. So if you wanted to have a look, check it out and let me know what you think about it as well too, because I'm definitely looking for feedback. All right. If I go back to here, you're in good company. Right. So, right. Okay. We were here with our clients, and I think this padding section, I think we just want to add some more padding bottom. You want to add a little bit more. If we go 5. And I guess we just want to make this a little bit bigger. Let's unlink it and let's go 5. It might need to be a 6. That looks good. So if we have a look there. Okay, perfect. I like that. That looks good. Yeah, I feel like having this on white, it just separates these sections a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. That looks better. Okay. Oh, but this one here, so this padding section large, we're going to go padding bottom. We're going to make this a lot less because we're going to want this to be 2. And you know what? Even less. Padding bottom 1. Oh, no. Break that link and go 1. There, that's much better. Okay, and this application image, we don't have it yet, but we'll get there. Because basically what we need to do is we need to create an image which shows this actual application. Like when you're logged in, we want to show the dashboard, and then we want to show the different components or whatever, and just make it a little bit, yeah, just make this look good. Just make it look like this is what it looks like if you're going to log into the system. And yeah, so we'll do that. But what do we want to do here? So we have this padding section large. We have this container large. I think what we want to do here is we don't want this small container here. I think we just want to make another container. Right. But what's our sizing for small? I'll make it a little bit. I think we want to edit this to be a little bit bigger. 45. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so I think section small. If we align this center, I think that could make us totally get rid of this centered div, just kind of taking up a lot of space. So let's go. What do we want here? Let's go. This is basically. I think this is just control. So this is the actual content in control. Padding section small. I think we're going to just switch this up a little bit. We're going to put that in there. and this stuff in here. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me. Okay, so this thing here, we need to make this pill. One thing that I'm not a fan of, I don't know what to do about this. This is a design choice we need to look at. So we have this pill thing. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Which doesn't do anything, but it's just like take control of your time, right? It's just something that you can kind of see. Whatever. It's like this little heading thing. But it's very similar to a button in terms of it being like rounded corners and everything. So we need a way to differentiate this from a button, because they both look like buttons. So either we change the buttons, or we change these pills. Because I mean, our buttons are all rounded corners. I need to rename this. Is large. So I mean, if we go to our just regular button, let's go to our button class. We have this border radius here. Because I mean, if you take, okay, hang on a second. If we take the buttons and if we remove a border radius, then they're more square. And then they, you know, everything's sharp and edgy. But I think I wanted everything to be kind of soft. So if we do that, then that's a difference. Yeah. So maybe only with borders without the background color. So I think what you're saying here. Maybe only borders without background color. Because if it doesn't have a background color, then I mean, borders isn't going to matter at all, right? Because we're not going to see anything. So then it just looks like this. If that's what you're saying, I mean, that doesn't look that bad. But I want something a little bit more. I want it to stand out. Because the idea behind this is, it's not the heading, but it's the little text that makes you understand what this whole section is going to be about, right? It's kind of like this big thing, like take control of your time. Like that's, like when you're joining pixel pieces, that's the value you're going to get. You're going to get your time. And then, you know, whatever, don't reinvent the wheel, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing here, it's like, it's professional stuff. This is high quality things that you're going to want. You know, we're not some run of the mill shop where we're just giving you a bunch of garbage. But then this is just testimonies. This is just kind of like, it's just what people are saying. So that's a little bit different. Okay. I see what you mean. Only with a solid border color. You're right. I see. That might work. Rolando, how you doing? Nice to see you. Why don't you use 8 pixel border radius? That's a highly specific number. What made you think of 8? And should that be for the buttons or just this little piece that I'm thinking of right now? So, okay, hang on. Let's undo a few things. Get these buttons back to how they are. So, I mean, a highly specific 8 pixels, which is 0.5 REM. Not quite feeling that, but let's try. Let us remove the background. Let's put a border around this thing. Let's see what it looks like. Not feeling that. If we do... It's always hard to tell too because I'm zoomed in a little bit at 100%. We're getting somewhere. This isn't so bad. So if you mean in terms, so yeah, I hear what you're saying. So it's not round, but it's not square either. So it's a soften. So I know for a fact, well, I don't know this for a fact, but what I do want for this site is I want the buttons to be fully rounded on the corners. Like I just remember playing around with my designs. I did softer buttons, and I also did full square buttons. And for the mood and whatever the feeling that I want people to have with pixel pieces, I want to have rounded corners. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the look that I'm going for. But I do, yeah, it's funny. It's funny how like design preferences kind of change over time. Because before, I was like you, instead of 8 pixels, I would kind of actually do either between 3 and 6 pixels for like my rounded corners for my buttons, just to give it a little bit, again, like you, just to take that edge off a little bit. But yeah, but now it's like, I like the hard edges too, with just straight squares, which is what I've done like for the style guide, just making things all kind of square. Actually, that's not true because these ones have rounded corners. But for the most part, I kind of like the straight looks. Anyways, we're getting to kind of like design philosophy and design stuff here. So this here, I like this, but let's try this with a small border radius and a different color around the border, to see if we can make it stick out a little bit more. No. We could... I mean, what if we infused a little bit of personality into this part and we could do some cool animations after? So instead of this, so what can we do with the color here? I don't think... Okay, we can't do a gradient. So let's try... All right, let's try something a little bit fancy. Control, okay. We're going to need to put this in here. So let's get rid of this and let's get rid of that. So it's just the straight text. We actually want this to be in line with the text. And let's just call it... let's just call this a pill, because that's what it... I guess it's like a pre-header? What the hell? Maybe like a section pre-header? Oh, that's weird. I don't know what to call this. Let's just call it pre-heading. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So basically what I want to do with this, let's create a new div inside. And this one we're going to make 100% width, but our height is only going to be 2 pixels. So let's go 0.125 REMs. And let's give it a background, but let's give it a gradient. And we want this to go, well, not 0. Let's go from like left to right, where, oh, we can't use, can we use? Oh, we can use our variables. That one's really hard to see. But so this would be our pre-heading text, and line height. And I think this was 600. And color, what color should this be? I think it's going to be darker. And let's give it a little bit of margin, some breathing room. Oh, no, that's not going to work because we need it on here. This needs a little bit of breathing room. Okay. What about something like this? After all that work, does that look even better? And then, we could animate this line. Maybe we can do an image or an SVG and have it, give it some shape to it so it's not just a flat straight line. I mean, these colors are horrible because you can't really see anything. Let's see if I can clean this up a little bit, or to make something a little bit more apparent. What color? Do we have any? Do I have any better colors? Let's just try, I don't know, we got some hot pink color, and then we mix it with gotta break this. Whatever, like some light blue. Okay, well that looks horrible, but does it get the point across? And maybe, can we make the text a different color so it sticks out a little bit more from here? I don't know. I don't know if that looks better. We have this. Again, picture maybe a different color versus this. Actually, we need to zoom out here as well just to make it look about the same. Can we keep it at the same? Whoop. Around the same level. I kind of, yeah, I think we can work with this. We can work with this. That's too big. I might want to give this just a little bit more space. Yeah, I mean, play around with the colors and all that kind of stuff. Okay, anyways, let's not waste too much time fiddling with design stuff, because what we're really here to do, of course, is get our client first system all in order. A bit more padding between the text and the line might work better. Yeah, it very well could be. I mean, if we just mess with the line height a little bit, gives a little bit more. Yeah, it's funny with the Y, and it has that descender on the type. That tends to throw it off. Like if it wasn't that type of letter, I think it would make things look a little bit better. But we'll play around with it. Yeah, a little bit more space. I think that does look a little bit better. Yeah, I like it. Okay, but we'll move on, and then I'll fix that off screen at some point, or maybe we'll get back to it, tomorrow or something. Okay, so moving on. Where are we? Right, so we haven't quite finished with this, and actually I need to make this. Let's go pre-heading. Like this is just a decoration, or maybe it's just a line, or we'll call it underline. That's more in line with what it is. Ugh, that was no pun intended there. Small container H2. It just has more padding on it. Oh, okay, interesting. That's what I'm doing with that. Instead of having a padding, I should just give it a minimum or maximum width. Right? So what should I do with that? Oh, what am I doing? Doing something wrong. I'm just trying to think of what to call this heading here. I think we're just going to call it section heading. No, I don't like that because it's going to get mixed in with our other section styles. I'm going to have to sleep on it or just think about it, because it's going to be reused in different sections within the brochure. And maybe it just needs to be a utility class where we set the size of. Actually, it's not even setting inside it. It's just adding paddings to the outside. Okay, we'll think about that. We'll figure that one out. Okay. So we move down. So we have this control. And this image should go inside this control as well. So this is going to be control underscore application image. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we do. I don't know if we're going to throw in an image in there or what, but it's just a placeholder for now. Okay. So we have padding section large. Why did I throw a padding at the bottom of this? I don't know why I did that. Okay. Okay, sorry, let me zoom out a second here. I just needed to see this a little bit more clearly. Okay. So we have the first section, and then you scroll down, don't reinvent the wheel. Here's a picture of the image. We have a 6 REM padding here, and then we get into this other section. So I guess we're going to be keeping this in this gray color, or this beige color. So if we do that, we have to take a look at the padding and making sure that we're consistent. Yeah, okay, so, whoops, opposite way. Oh, okay, so let's go to this section. Let's delete those, and we are yeah, new section. Well, now we got to rename this. We'll just call this section Discover. So you can discover why you want to join pixel pieces. And container, we're going to replace that with our padding global. Again, being consistent with our client first principles, we are going to then wrap this around in our container. And then here is where we are going to mess around with our padding by adding a padding section. And we'll do this large. So it doesn't quite look the same, and that's in terms of the distance between the white here and then this space here, and that's just simply because of the extra space that you're getting here from this typography, from this H2. That's just a little optical illusion that we're going to have to rectify. So we have our H2 alternate. So it's not your standard H2 element. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna have to figure out how to change that. Okay, so this grid -2, and then it also has this thing of large. Why does it have that? Maybe just because of the gap. Okay, so basically we're gonna change this to, actually I'm not gonna use a generic grid for this. I'm actually going to call this Discover, and we're just going to call this, what are these things? Like discovery, the cards or items or reasons? I'm just going to call them cards because they're kind of like little section cards. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Put them in a grid, and our gap, I think it was 6, and then kind of had 4 on the bottom. Whoops, what did I do? Oh, I put it in here. That's not what we want. Discovery cards needs to have the grid. 6, unlink, 4, Perfect. Hmm. And then instead of grid item, this is just going to be a discover, just a single card. Okay. Oh, now we got stuff for icons. This is going to be a little bit annoying. So actually, I don't know what I want to do with these icons because these are just kind of placeholders. I definitely want to change these out, especially now that we have, I got a bunch of different icons, and different things that I want to try out. So I think we're going to, we'll skip this again because it's likely, actually I guarantee it's going to change. So then we're getting more into design stuff and not actual, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not actually doing what we're trying to do here today, which is converting our, the whole project into client first. Okay, so this is just your straight heading 3, which is fine. And this is text 8 on this page and 8 on other pages. Where else is this being used? Let's see if we can find, actually, right here, just text. No, I don't want to change it. I just want to see where it's being used. It's using on the components page. On the pricing page. My. That's really bad. Why did I do this? That makes no sense. Well, it'll make some sense, but okay, number 1, we need to use a paragraph, not a text field. And copy, paste. And I think basically what we want to do is we want to use, where are our text sizes? I think we just want to do text size medium. So we're going to go here, text size medium. And that is going to be, what are we at? 1.125, 1.125. And the line height, 1.75, which seems a little bit high actually. I'm going to try 1.5. There we go. Then delete that. Okay. So we'll go here, copy, paste. X, paste, delete that. All right, and delete. Okay, good. So we have discovery card, and then we just have our text that's in there, which is just your standard text size medium. Okay. Next section. I think that's good. Yeah, like I said, we'll skip the icons because those are going to get updated. Yeah. Hang on a second. Let's just zoom out for a sec. Make sure everything's looking good. Yeah. There's going to be some things that we're probably going to have to work on with the colors. I don't even know if this should stay on this beige color for the background, if it should just go to white. I might want it to just go to white, to be honest. But we'll see. Little details will work out. Okay. So our professional library. So new section. Section control, section discover. Something happened. Oh, right. I'm not moving them in where they're supposed to go. Section control here. Section discover. Right. That's okay. They're still where they need to go. Or they're still where they need to be. Okay. This one has a big padding on the top. Section underscore library. Okay, same thing. We're going to wrap this around. What's the first one? Our padding is the first one. I just like to look at this one, the first one we did, make sure everything's consistent. Container, container large. Small container, yeah, we'll update that. Control Alt G. And that is, let me give this padding. I think we want this to be large because we wanted a lot of space in between. We might want to change that later on, but we'll see. And right. So we got our padding section large. And basically what we want now is we want this to be, it's not small container, but this is just library. And we're going to center that text here, which means we can get rid of this center class, but then we can also have container small because we want this one to just be small. Right. Everything you need to start building websites today. I think, yeah, we want that in one line or two lines, which means our container small needs to be updated to 48 REMs. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, still looks good. So we have this hero subtitle, which is the same thing that we have here. So maybe we can just call this a subtitle. Probably, right? I think we should just rename this to subtitle. And if we need multiple different types of subtitles, then we could maybe change that, but I don't think we do, at least not right now. Okay, small container H2. This actually doesn't look too bad with the white pill here on this kind of our off-white background here. Okay, so we're at the library. Container small. All right. So, but this here needs to be inside the library though. And we're going to call this library. I guess I want to say like the library items or library types. This is the component library and then the template library. And what are those to pixel pieces? They are like products, I guess you can say. So library products. I think so. I think that makes sense. And then, ooh, okay. We're gonna have to be careful here. So we're gonna rename feature to library underscore product. Just product item. Or just library product. And then I think we're going to just rename this to isBlue. And for this one, I'm going to rename that isPurple. Good. Perfect. I like that. Oh, I love this effect on this thing. This is so cool. I love it. All right. Oh my goodness, my butt's getting sore. Oh, we're going on 2 hours? Okay, well let's finish. We gotta finish this page. And once we finish this page, all the other internal pages will pretty much fall in line because they're all based on the same structure. We only have like kind of 3-4 more sections to go here. Okay, so section library. Yeah, no, everything's good, right? We do have some issues with this. Oh, maybe we should change this heading thing. I think this pre-heading text. So let's copy that. Let's go here. Pre-heading, right? Professional library. If I delete that. I don't know if I like that better, if I like the white better. I don't know. This white does look really good. Let me just... But I do prefer the radius to be a little bit more. But again, this looks like buttons. Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have people even the slightest be potential as to what's going on. Okay. So let's go here real quick. While we're at the pre-heading, let's copy this and let's at least just throw it in here. Testimonials. And let's delete that. Okay. All right, this whole section. So before we get to this section, let's close this section, close this one, close this discover, and even close the library and put it into the main wrapper. Excellent. And now we have this section. Actually, let's just move it into the main wrapper right now. Okay. We have, what do we have? We have section underscore testimonials. Container, we have padding global. The more I do this, the more I think it's going to really start to become second nature in terms of knowing the framework. Because I was having a little bit like, oh, what goes first, the padding or the container, whatever. Now it's starting to make more and more sense as we keep working with this thing. So, which is good. Because it's basically the way I think about it anyways, is you have your whole wrapper, and then basically that goes into a section, and that section has padding on this side, and then you give it a like a container, so how big it's going to be, and then when you have that container, then you put padding on the top and bottom, and then you have your actual content. So yeah, that's just kind of how I'm thinking of it in my mind. Okay, so the small container is, okay, it's going to be a small container, which is, we have that for the width, 50. Okay, so this is going to be like 46 now, which I think is going to be okay. Actually, I have this container large. That's false. We're going to do this container small, right? There we go. And I guess basically here we want to throw, here's where we want to throw in our padding section. I guess let's just make it large. We'll worry about some spacing afterwards. Okay. How do we differentiate these two? So we have this centered thing, which is kind of like your header part of your testimonial. And then we have the actual container. So I think what we can do is we're just going to, oops, Control Alt G. We're going to wrap everything in a testimonials. And we're going to call this one testimonial. Oh my goodness. Testimonials header. And we want to center align that text. And then this testimonials container is going to be renamed to testimonials underscore content. Right, and it's in a slider. Where is the content on the slider? I don't remember. Oh, here we go. It's in slide 1, slide 2. Is this even functional? Right, I do. I got 2 things in there. Okay. Okay, subtitle, yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's all good. And this testimonials header. So our sliders, I think the sliders are generic enough that I'm not going to have a million different types of sliders, and I'm going to want to have just a slider class. So we're just going to call this testimonials slider. Okay. This slide has a height of auto. This one doesn't. I wonder why. Or if it should. Okay, testimonial text and testimonial meta. Okay, so let's go Testimonials. This is basically the quote. In fact, we got to change this because it needs to actually be in a quote. Like so. And let's go testimonials underscore quote. And let's copy and paste. And let's go to all block quotes. No, not for this one. We want nothing on the sidelines, and we basically want no padding because I can calculate all this stuff on my own. Thank you very much. Or assign it on my own. I don't want anything. And delete that. And this will be testimonials. Let's just go, I think we'll go with author. Testimonials author. And rename this testimonials underscore author name. And this is just text. Oh, that's bad. But I think what we want is text size medium. And that gets us what we want. If it's just going to be your generic text size medium. Okay. So we're going to change that here too. Text size medium. So testimonials, individual slide. I think we need to do it for this one as well. Just to have its height auto. Let's see if let's play it. Yeah, I think everything's looking good on the testimonial side. Mask. Testimonials. Slider dash mask. Okay, we got arrows here too. Testimonials underscore arrow is left arrow. Is right arrow. Why? Okay, this is not good. Why? Why would I change this name? So if I just call this anything, so why is it going up like that? Why is it doing that? That's weird. What the hell's going on? Hidden. We're going to rename this to hide. This one rotates, which is fine. What is going on with these arrows? So if I rename this to is left arrow, it goes up. Why does it do that? If I play it, yeah, it's going up. Let's undo a bunch of things here. Okay. Two on other pages. What other pages am I using this? Arrow, left arrow. Let's have a look. Okay, well, it's just used here on this templates page. And then the components page. Okay, that's fine. That's because the whole thing was just cut and paste. That doesn't explain to me why its position gets completely out of whack. What does left arrow even do? It doesn't even do anything. Like it changes the color? I must have, come on, man. I must have some code somewhere. Not here. Do I have an embed somewhere? Do I have it on the home page somewhere here? Custom code? No, it's just my member stack stuff. Okay, something's real fishy. Something real fishy's going on here. And it's with these arrows. And I renamed this one. Testamo _ slider mask. Because the right arrow and left arrow, like there's got to be something. Like there's got to be a reason as to why I did that. Because this one rotates the icon. And must, I mean, is there something in here with the slides? There's no interactions? Infinite repeat. Hide arrows at each end. Left arrow, I delete it, it just goes down here. Why? Oh, and then right arrow goes to 0. Interesting. So if I look at this arrow, this has margins on the top and bottom. But if I go left arrow, it's now at 0. So let's rename this to testimonials arrow. And if we go back to here, let's make sure that this is 0 and this is 0. And now when I go to left arrow and delete that, it's going total 0. I think it's automatically adding margins. So we just add this one as 0, then I think we're good. And again, then we can delete this. But hang on, we're also having another issue. Probably with this. It's different here. I 2.5 REM. They're both gonna get messed up. And we're gonna go is right. Not a dash. Is right arrow. And we're going to go 2.5. Okay, hang on. Let's add 2.5. If I just rename this. It's crazy. Crazy what's going on here. Okay. Okay. 0%. Okay. Is left arrow. This goes to 0%. Oops, 0%. And here is auto. And here is also auto. Okay. And we're going to go here. And rename this one is right arrow. And we're going to go 2.5 REM. Then we're going to go auto. And then auto. Okay. Now it looks like we're getting somewhere. And we're going to rename this testimonials underscore arrow. Okay. This icon is going to change. We're going to change this into an SVG, so we can leave that. And right, and we want to rename this to hide. Okay, and this is easy testimonials underscore background. All right. There we go. All right. We have 3 sections left to go. Actually, what is this one? This is just empty. Oh, pricing. Oh yeah, pricing. And the footer. And then this little thing. But it's been 2 hours and 16 minutes or what have you. So I need to get up and stretch. This is getting a lot for me. I got to figure out how I can maybe break up the streams. Maybe have like intermissions or something like that, and then I could get back to work or whatever after a stretch or some push-ups or pull-ups or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm just gonna keep working on this, and we'll see where we are tomorrow. Hopefully, I can get a lot of this done tonight, tomorrow morning, or what have you, and then we'll regroup and we'll see where we are, and we'll keep moving forward, and yeah, get ready to hopefully get some semblance of everything kind of put together by Friday. So we're going to keep plugging away. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for all the help and tips. I really, really appreciate it. And as always, I'll be back here for another live stream tomorrow. So until then, have a good one. Have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow. Yep. Have a good one. Thank you. Appreciate that.